Hi and welcome to Life with Kazu, and in today's video we'll be looking at baby clothes.
So today, talking about clothing, but in particular Uniqlo branded clothing. So Uniqlo is a Japanese clothing brand and just recently started doing baby clothing, but before that it was adult wear and more towards the casual side of fashion.
Yep, so it's kind of like your basics. And
something like this, although this is not Uniqlo, but you know, your basic t-shirts, workwear, layering things, so
leisure wear, that sort of thing. Yeah,
we're a big fan of the Airism range and the Heat Tech range, so the clothing that you wear underneath your clothes to help you keep your body cool or to keep your body warm depending on the weather. So I'm not sure when they started doing baby clothing, but I noticed it came out around a year ago, but maybe it's been around a lot longer because we're in Australia. Maybe we've received it a bit later.
Yep. And now that we have Kazu, our newborn, maybe it's when we started to notice that there is baby clothing available with Uniqlo. So we have purchased a few garments today, which we'll show you. Ranging from short sleeves to long john type baby clothing.
So this is normally the packaging that they come in. So it might come in a single item, or it might come with 2 items in one package. And the price ranges, well, usually the normal price is $14.90 Australian. But if they go on sale, it can be around $6.90 or $9.90. So some of these items I did get on sale. And the main thing I really like about the baby clothing is that they have these sort of like fold over wrap style snap button closures. And I like them because you can lay the clothing flat and then you lay your baby on top and then you do up the clothing. So you're not having to pull things over their head. So the packaging for the baby clothing, it usually comes in 1 item per package, or 2 items per package. Unless it's on sale, which I did buy a few of these items on sale, which were around $7.90 to $9.90. And also, because this is a Japanese brand, the sizing is very different to Australian sizing. I'm not sure how it is done in other countries, but in Australia we go by the 00, the 10 is like a 12-month-old, and the smallest I think you can get is a 60, which is like a premature size, and after the 12 months then it goes by the age, so 1 would be like a 1-year-old, 2 will be a 2-year-old, and so on. In terms of the Uniqlo sizing, it's more sort of divided by the height of the child. And obviously, course, between different brands, the sizing might be different. So it's very hard to maybe, this brand, the sizing usually a bit bigger. Some other brands usually a bit smaller. Some other brand, it's just right. So in terms of centimeters, there's just black and white. There's no, this is bigger or smaller.
In actual fact, when Kazu was born, not that he was premature, but he was small. He was on the small end.
Tall.
Yeah, he was tall. Yeah. But in regards to his clothing, he was actually wearing premature baby size. And mind you, it's already been 3 months, three and a half months, and Kazu has...
He's blossomed.
He's sprouted very quickly.
So I think when he was born, he was 2.8 kilos. His height was 58.5 centimeters, which height-wise is quite tall for his weight. So he was a really scrawny looking baby. And now he's going on 14 weeks.
He's already got the nickname of Michelin baby.
He's got he's got these rolls where you get the
Yeah.
lint in between the rolls.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
extreme. You
He
know.
likes his milk very much.
Yeah, I guess it makes babies look
Yeah.
cuter when they're chubby. In terms of the packaging, again, they do have the picture of what the clothing looks like,
Mm.
and I think it's really cool because they'll give you an indication of how the closure is. So if it's got buttons, snaps, or zips, I can see why zips would be really easy and useful. Like it saves time, but I guess you kind of worry about getting things caught in between the zip.
Yeah, exactly. When he's moving around
Yeah.
too much. And we've gotten used to the buttons, and the buttons are made out of plastic.
Yeah. So at first I thought buttons were cumbersome, but
Yeah.
it's actually, in actual fact, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
And I think the Uniqlo buttons are a bit different because they're not the metal buttons; they're these plastic ones, and they come off and on really, really easily.
The reason why we started buying these wrap over clothing, because it kind of looks like, to me, Star Wars costumes. You know, like little Jedi Master younglings. Yeah, really cool.
Yeah. They only have it in the 60 and 70 centimeter size, and after that they're all over their head, but with the button snaps at the bottom. So I really wish they had these fold over ones in the bigger sizes. So this is a different brand. I think this is a supermarket brand, and this is what he was wearing after probably a couple of weeks. This is a 40 size, and yeah, so this is only a one-way zip, but they do come. There are some that come with a two-way zip, so you can change the nappy a bit easier. But as you can see, because the zip doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the leg, you have to force the leg in there and pull it out when you're doing nappy changing. And the other thing I found with the zips is that it does tend to, when he's wearing it, it does tend to sort of bunch up sort of in odd places.
Yeah,
and
like it's almost like
get
if
in
you
the way
have...
when you're feeding him, kind of gets tendency to get milk on there and stuff like that.
I think it's a bit
found
like
that annoying.
when you have a leather jacket and you zip it all the way up, and you
it's
go
like
and you go to
stiff and thick
sit
here.
down on the chair and you said,
Yeah.
it looks like you got something in front of you.
Yeah, so I
but
found that really annoying with the zips, but I can see the mentality of, you know, it's just like a 1-2 sort of movement. So that's a different type of brand. But the other thing that I like about this particular one is the material, if you can see, it's actually got tiny little holes in it.
Yeah, it's perforated.
And the other thing with the snap buttons is they have this, I thought it was a bit odd at first, there's a different colour snap amongst the white ones, and that's because you can quickly, you know, make sure you've got the right snap without having to sort of misjudge. They're really stretchy, so, you know, because he's chubby, it needs to stretch sideways, but it does have a fair bit of stretch long ways as well. So he can wear that for probably another few weeks, I'd say. So this one is in the same type of material, but this is the 80 centimeter height. So this one came in a 2-pack. So same material, but as you can see, it doesn't have the fold over buttons for the opening. You have to put it over their head, but since it's quite stretchy, that's actually not too bad.
Yeah,
that's not too. Yeah, so that's that cottony material with the holes. But we also found Airism in the baby range.
Yeah, Airism, which is cool.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the brands that are available here, the material is quite thick, and you know, and I always think Australia's such a hot country, but I guess it's because maybe most people actually leave their aircon on all the time, like us.
Yeah, no, we don't like aircon. No, I like the feeling of aircon, but I think if I have it on for too long, I kind of get. I get a cold. I just find
it's a waste of energy. And it's probably not good to keep your baby in an air-conditioned environment all the time. And especially when you're sleeping, I definitely can't have it on when I'm sleeping. I get
the air gets a bit
sick,
dry and stuff. So anyway, with the materials, especially in summer, we want to keep him as cool as possible. The Airism material has helped a lot.
So the Airism, the difference with this is that It does have a lot more minute holes, but the material is a lot thinner and it's kind of silky to the touch.
It's a bit like microfiber almost.
Yeah, and it feels cool to the touch,
yeah,
which is really nice.
It is, yeah. Even like now, it feels cool. It's a little stretchy as well, which is good.
Oh, it's super stretchy. Yeah.
It's a bit hard to explain what sort of material that is, but yeah, it is. It's cool to touch.
Yeah.
It's quite thin,
Yeah.
so you can imagine
this
if you were
one-
wearing that in
This
summer.
one stretches actually a lot more than the full cotton.
Mm.
Yeah, that stretches heaps, which is really nice. And the other thing is, you know, you have to make sure it stretches in the armhole because you know, obviously they don't know how to put their clothes on themselves. So you've got
Yeah.
to try and force their arm through. So it's important to have stretchy armhole.
Which is funny, you move around and skew around a lot in different positions, but when you're trying to put their clothing on, it's they're like stiff as a rock.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Or is that even the saying, stiff as a rock?
And so that one came in a pack of 2.
So we're heading into autumn.
Mm.
So as you know, there's a lot of winter clothes coming through now as well, and we'll get through that now because we've got a few garments here that are a little bit not so much thicker but warmer materials. So
I mean, even the thicker one is, the cotton's quite thin, it's not too bad. So I guess you can just layer these things. But yeah, these ones are the thicker cotton with the sleeves, and this came in a 2-pack.
and that's a wrap over as well.
Yeah.
So
And I noticed on this one, not all of them have the weight range, but this is also a 60 centimeter, and the weight's 6 kilos, so he's like way over. But it also says,
it tells you the age as well.
Yeah, this one
so
says
if you go
age.
by the age,
yeah, this one says
measurement.
age 3 to 6 months, which to me is really unusual because at 6 months there's no way he's going to fit into this.
yeah.
No.
Well, Kazu anyway.
Well, not Kazu,
yeah,
not Kazu.
yeah.
6 months, I don't know. This seems really small for a 6-month old because this is almost getting a bit tight lengthways already because you know obviously
Yeah,
the
you got
nappy
the
takes up
nappy
a
as
lot
well.
of
Yeah, exactly.
space. So now that it's coming into the cooler weather, although there are still some days which are 30s at the moment. I did buy some longer sleeve ones. So these ones came in 1 per pack. This is at 60 centimeters as well, so 3 to 6 months.
So the
I guess-
material on that
Is it the
is.
same? Is it the same? Seems slightly bigger this one.
Yeah. So the
and this-
material's the same, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
what is that?
It's a cotton. They're all cotton. 100% cotton.
I can't even read that. Where is it? Oh, they're 100% cotton. Okay.
That's
So it's the
why-
same as that one, but long sleeve.
That's why you're getting new glasses.
I'm getting new glasses.
Anyway, this obviously this pattern is for a girl, but you know, Kazu's a metro kind of baby, so he doesn't mind wearing the pretty colours as well.
It's pinkish, but it's more red. Yeah,
definitely a
I'm
girl.
okay with that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a good thing about Uniqlo as well. I mean, apart from the different sort of gender colors, specific as they would call it, they have blues for boys and pinks for girls and stuff like that. It's quite neutral. A lot of their colors are kind of like pastel. Sorry. Pastel
I don't know.
colours?
I think they're still very traditional. I think. But
It's
there
fairly
are-
light. It's
there
not.
are some that you can call unisex. Yeah, but it could be that they're only releasing a limited range in Australia as well. You know.
Mm.
So this is the same size, same style. So this is all button snaps all throughout here as well. So it looks like there's heaps of buttons, but I did notice when I'm changing, it is a lot easier than having to pull out his legs. You know, especially when he's half
Through the
asleep,
hole.
pull out his legs through these holes.
Where
and
the
wake him
buttons,
up.
yeah,
Yeah, with this one there's like
the buttons go all the way
no
down to the bottom.
disturbance to the baby.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
really like those.
I mean, I did find that there was quite a fair bit of buttons. Actually, the first time I tried that, I didn't realise there were so many buttons. But you do get used to it, and you know what? Yeah, like we said, the button makes it a lot easier at the end.
Yeah.
So that's quite a warm material. I mean, to be honest with you, like you're inside the house, you know. Winter for us, you know, it's quite warm in the home anyway. I mean, if you can have at least, you know, one good layer of material in winter, I mean, our house is quite warm, so.
And I notice when he's sleeping, he tends to have his arms out. He doesn't like having his arms in the blanket. So unless you actually swaddle him, his arms are always going to be out. So I guess it's good to have a long sleeve thing.
Look, I mean, obviously these are outwear as well. You know, you can wear it out when we go out. I suppose if it's any colder, then we will put a jacket on him. So we're not that fussed about, you know, the thickness of the material. In actual fact, we'd rather keep it kind of light and just layer up if it gets colder.
So I guess at first, with your very first baby, you tend to go a bit crazy and buy a lot of stuff in the same sizing, but you don't realize that maybe 2 weeks later and they've gone a size up already, and you haven't even used half of the clothes that you bought. So luckily for us, we did have a lot of hand-me-downs, and
which is cool.
So
unless of course you lived in my generation or any older generation, your parents or your mum would have bought you, a shirt that was 10 sizes bigger. So
is that an Asian thing?
No, I think it's a very universal thing.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I remember going to school with 3 sizes up shirts and stuff like that. So it made me even look smaller. But that's the general idea my mum had, so I can wear that for at least 5 years within the same school.
It's bad when they do it with shoes though. It's not ideal.
Nah, I never had that problem with shoes. Mine was always the right size.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're wearing
your mom's
oversized
that'll last at least 2 years. Oh, okay. Just wear thicker socks. Okay. This is a size bigger, so this is a 70 centimeter, but this is between 6 and 12 months.
It's wide as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's about him,
No, it's not, it's not that big.
But
Yeah, but as a 1-year-old, I think he'll be a lot bigger than that when he's 1. I mean, I could be wrong.
Well, I hope he was not that fat anyway.
Because this is a weight of 9 kilos, so 9 kilos I expect is the maximum that this fits. But obviously he's 3 months and he's 7.5, so he's gonna exceed this.
Yeah. So is this a boy, unisex?
I think this is more for a girl, but I don't really care. You can wear that.
Well, it's red. There's a little bunny rabbit
Yeah.
prints on that, and it's color red.
Yeah.
Actually, comment if you think that's a different color, but to me it's red. The clothing, that's off-white, isn't it? Or just cream?
Like a beige maybe?
Or beige. Yeah, so
It almost looks like a raw cotton type of, undyed material. I thought it was Peter Rabbit, but I don't think it is. Because they do have character stuff like Mickey Mouse.
Oh, that's one thing about Uniqlo is that they have and if you're a big fan of Mickey Mouse and Star Wars, they do have a selection of clothing for those. Yeah.
It's Pumpkin in the background growling at something. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know. So these other two, this came in a 1-pack as well. So this is long sleeve with the foldovers. So obviously this is also 60 centimeters. So he's only worn this once, and he hasn't worn this yet, and I have a feeling he's not going to be able to wear it that often. But I'm pretty sure this is for a girl as well. And it's got little chipmunks.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Chipmunks. But really it looks more Christmassy, I think.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
Obviously. I mean, we don't buy these clothing for the cartoons that they have on it. It's just a nice colour and print. Very neutral. It's not like it's pink, but
wore this today actually.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks really cute.
Yeah.
And
he's a bit of a tan baby as well. So the kind of he's got.
I think this is actually the exact same pattern, but it
kind of matches.
It's just in a 2-tone beige and white colouring, which is nice. So that is definitely unisex. And then the last one I have is this massive one. It's a bit big.
Okay, this is really questionable. I mean, that's clearly purple.
Yeah, but purple's okay, isn't it? I actually
I'm
bought-
still a traditionalist sometimes. Yeah, but
No, it's fine.
yeah.
So this is the full buttons as well.
You got a pretty girl.
And this is kind of a quilted material, so if you can see there's a bit of quilting on that.
Yeah. So what do you call
A
that?
little
It's
bit
kind of like.
thicker. Like a quilted material.
Mm.
So this is a slightly thicker, and this is a 80 centimeter and weight 11 kilos. So this one doesn't have the age range, so they're a bit inconsistent with their guidelines. So
I guess the good thing about it, they always have the height measurement. And it's in centimeters. It may differ. I mean, obviously there's Uniqlo worldwide. They might put the measurement a little bit different, maybe in inches.
but this one doesn't stretch much.
There's always a height centimeter range, which is good.
Yeah, but luckily, even though this is quilted material, it's still 100% cotton on the outside. The filling, because quilting means there's something in between, the batting or something you call it, that's polyester. But at least the material that's touching his skin is cotton, which is good.
So they didn't have a boy one.
No. Well, maybe they did, but I just thought, oh, purple, that's cool.
Okay. Maybe I should start buying his clothes instead.
But I bought this because we're going to Japan in October, and I thought this would probably be something good to bring with us. I guess even on the plane, it might be.
Oh yeah, the plane's always cold, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, I guess we're excited to check out the Uniqlo clothing that they have over there. We'll be checking out other places like department stores and supermarkets, because supermarkets in Japan is pretty much like a department store, but a lot cheaper. And I'm sure we'll be checking out what stuff is available there. So hopefully they do have something like that style, but for a larger size. And
I am actually starting to see a few brands here in Australia that are starting to design similar to this with the buttons, which is kind of cool.
But the
so it's not
buttons
just
are
Uniqlo.
always those metal ones.
Yeah. So yeah.
Because these are, I don't know, they're just so easy to take on and off. The metal ones sometimes, because I tend to put my nail in between the two, so that I don't pull the material too much, because obviously if you do that, it will eventually rip the material. So that's what I tend to do. But obviously some people don't have like longer nails, so it might be a bit hard. But even if you don't, the plastic ones are fine, much easier to get on.
And plus, when you do wash this, not that the metal ones will rust, but I have seen clothing with metal buttons that will, and that's probably a good thing.
Oh, okay.
Plastic won't rust, so that's a good thing.
And obviously if it's coloured metal, that might actually come off the colour on the actual button. Yeah, but the plastic one, it's hard. I don't know what you call it. It's that colour all the way through, so it's not gonna come off.
Yeah.
And I do like how they've colour coordinated the buttons. So if it's a purple, it's purple buttons. If it's white, it's got white buttons. Even the beige one, it's got beige.
Oh, look at that beige.
Yeah, so
I thought that was just dirty.
The blue one's got blue buttons. So that's pretty cool. Like they pay attention to detail.
Look, I mean, if you are interested in purchasing the same garments or any other Uniqlo clothing, they sell online. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
online,
also in
yes,
store.
But very limited range online. Your best bet is to go to the city store, the one
which would be the flagship store on Pitt Street.
Yeah.
There's also a large store in Miranda as well, and they're quite competitive in terms of price, and that's one big plus as to why we went with Uniqlo clothing, because some other brands are quite a lot more expensive. And the good thing about Uniqlo is that they keep their prices quite low, and they do use quality material as well. So whether it's weather specific, and also just the patterns are really cool as well. Hey, they look like little Jedi Masters. They're really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to do another video on a different brand of clothing as well. So
watch out for that one.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for this video.
Yeah.
So let us know if you've tried Uniqlo or not, and what you think of their clothing, and maybe you've got a different brand that you prefer. Let us know in the comments below.
Or, yeah, or if you've got any favorite out of the garments that we've shown you today, let us know.
And do you dress your baby in, you know, sort of questionable colours? Not questionable, but, you know, are you like me and you're not really that fussed? Because
it's okay. It's okay to wear purple for now. That's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Okay. Well, anyway, so if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, or if you have any comments, like we said before, or any feedback to give us, make sure you leave it down below. If you haven't already subscribed, press the subscribe button, and watch out for our next videos. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.